Hi, Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is going to be your general reading for April 2023. My mind just went like this. I have with me the Radiant White deck. I have with me the Levita Sibilas. And I think we will be using perhaps either the Angel Answers or the Heart Oracle Tarot. We might even be using the Psychic Oracle Tarot. We'll just see. So I've already done some meditation and shuffling on your sign and glyph. Welcome to spring, everybody. Today is the 15th of March. So in 6 days, we'll be going into astronomical spring, first day of spring equinox, which is always great. And next month in April, we'll be having an eclipse on the 20th, which is almost a month away from the astronomical spring. So we'll just see what happens. I can say I honestly feel as though 2023 is zooming by. We are already in the 4th month. Hannah's going to be turning 19 next month. Can't believe that, but there it is. All right, so let's go ahead and shuffle and rifle the cards. For those of you who are new to my channel, I want to say thank you and welcome. For those of you who have been with me since the beginning and you stuck around, I'd like to thank you. If you are new to my channel, oh, I forgot something. What you need to know is that I don't read cards, I read energies. Okay, there's a big difference. And if you are in need of a reading, and you don't have to wait until I post here, you can contact me for a reading, a personal reading, a private reading anytime. You simply email me at the address that I just typed in. You can go to the About Box section of my channel and find my reading packages, which would be the number of minutes, the number of questions, and the price. And then you simply email me and say, hey, Tara, I'd like to have, the 45-minute reading, and then I'll contact you back, okay? I do suggest that before you do that, you add my email address to your contacts. Most times my emails go to spam. My email address looks like a spam address. So you do want to make sure that you add that to your contacts so that when I respond back, you're going to get it. It's going to come to your inbox, okay? So here we go. Split the cards. I think I've already done it, but I'm going to do it again. 9 cards down. 9 of Cups. Oh, well. The Devil. Well, what is happening here? Well, now, the 6 of Swords. Oh, that petered out quick. Okay. That petered out real quick. Next row, the 7 of Swords. The 10 of Pentacles. The 3 of Pentacles. That's interesting. I feel as though some of you expected to get something, but then when you got it, it wasn't what you thought it was going to be. Okay. 9 of Wands. The Temperance card. Well, now. And then the 7 of Cups. Wow. Okay. Let me take a look here to see if I have 2 9s, repeater numbers. Okay. I have 2 Cups, 2 Pentacles, 2 Swords, and a Wand. Now, there is this implied idea of 2 with the 2 Swords, the 2 Cups, the 2 Pentacles. There's this and the 2 major arcana. So there's this implied 2 that is floating around in this. So either this is about some type of relationship, or it is about a choice or decision or being at a crossroads. That's what 2s represent. What is the energy over the entire reading? It is the Ace of Cups. Now, here's what I see. In the center, I have the Ten of Pentacles. And the Ten of Pentacles is oftentimes a card that has to do with generational monies. In other words, maybe that's a wealthy family, or maybe it is a very successful and prosperous family business. But I've also seen the Ten of Pentacles show up when people are thinking about maybe retiring. The Ten of Pentacles implies being part of a group who are comfortable with each other. I know for some of us, we've been at our jobs for so long that the people that we work with have become like family, right? And as you can see, they are comfortable. There's the man, the woman, the child, the old man, and the dog. So this is the idea of everyone in the group pulling together their weight to create something really solid and long lasting. Now, I'm not exactly sure if I am looking at necessarily it feels like a separation, okay? I'm just going to say that off the bat. It feels like a separation. But this Ten of Pentacles in the center is a changing energy. In other words, it's going to change into the Ace of Pentacles. The Nine of Cups is simply known as the wish card, right? It just says that your hopes, wishes, and dreams are coming true. It says that whatever the path that you are on, you're on the right path. But it's sitting next to this Devil card. And although the Devil can be a card that kind of frightens, basically what the Devil is about is, what are you committing yourself to? Okay. It talks about the idea of temptation, obsession. It could be power struggles going on within either yourself or with someone else. Sometimes here it can be overindulgence, so things like addiction. So maybe there's been some substance abuse issues here. What I'm picking up, though, it feels as though there's a sexual component to this, as though everything was going great. The sex has been fantastic, but there's something about the Devil card in which it has made someone choose to leave, okay? And sometimes that idea of what do you commit yourself to could be the idea that you got yourself into a situation where at first everything seemed great, but then you found out there were some other, for lack of a better term, phrase, some terms and conditions in it that kind of locked you in such a way that you feel as though you weren't able to get out of. But I see someone here leaves, the Six of Swords. Cups are about emotions. Swords are about thoughts, belief, perceptions, ideas, and communication. Okay. Pentacles are about finances and or the doing of. And the wands basically just represent your passion, your determination, your focus, your drive, your desire. The major arcana cards are spiritual lessons. So the Devil card can be this idea that something looms large, but that may frighten us, but ultimately it turns out to be okay. It could be someone, it's about power and control issues. So this could be someone trying to exert power and control over you, but to negative ends. This could be you yourself being completely obsessed or tempted by something, okay, that may not be in your best interest. And then the Six of Swords indicates that someone leaves this situation. Before it was a 6, it was a 5. And the Six of Swords can be an abrupt, clean cut from someone, going from rough waters to calmer waters. This is the idea, however, that no matter where you go, once you leave the situation, you are still taking your thoughts with you. As you can see, the swords are still in front. It almost feels something like the idea of having an escape. But I feel that this is someone who leaves, but they leave, and the reason why, or the reasoning behind it, there's been some deception here, okay? Some kind of lies. Maybe this is spying. Sometimes this is what this card can be about. It can also be an indication of things not going to plan. Uh, and if that is the case, the reason why they are not going to plan is because your thoughts have been disorganized. You can't think straight. You're worried and overburdened with something. It can also be an indication of somebody perpetrating a fraud or a theft, actually stealing or doing something right in open, broad daylight. Okay. There is a financial component to this. I don't know if it has to do with a family issue or business issue. Okay, but from the 10 to the 3, what we are saying is there are 7 pentacles missing. The idea of waiting, of thinking about something, and this is what 7s represent. They represent a momentary pause, asking questions of oneself, having a bit of self-doubt. But we go from this group of people down to 3 people. Now, there's an implied indication of 3 people in this spread as well. And so sometimes this can be the idea of a change made, someone leaving, or a situation in which through the choice of another, we have to either move away or they move away. So I have this sense that this family thing here has an influence on the leaving, and perhaps the leaving with under deceptive what's the word that I'm looking for? Lying about why they're leaving. That's what I'm trying to say. The 3 of Pentacles implies that there may be suspended events before future successes are realized, but it is about teamwork. It is about coming together to build new plans or to learn a bit more about whatever it is you're trying to do. As you can see, we have the 2 figures there with their plans going to the craftsman. Whoever this person is, it implies that the individual has a bit more skill and knowledge. He's elevated up on the bench. He knows more than these people. So they're coming to say, hey, this is what I want to do. Can I do it? How can I do it? What is it going to cost me? How long is it going to take? So that kind of a thing. But it is about cooperation. Followed by the 9 of Wands. And the 9 of Wands is an indication that there has been a battle. A battle of wills, a test of wills, a test of strength and courage. But it also implies that you still have enough energy to get back in there in the fight. So it is asking you to stop for a moment and pause before moving forward to that 10 of Wands. Okay. And then we come to the Temperance. Well, the Temperance is a card of reconciliation. And when I say reconciliation, I don't mean people getting back together. I mean being able to reconcile the way you feel with the way you think. Now, I have seen this card show up when people come and they say, am I on the right path? The answer to that would be a yes. But what it requires is compromise. There's going to have to be some kind of compromise. This is going to be the idea of keeping your emotions in check so that you can continue on with whatever it is you're trying to do. But we see that it ends with the idea of having so many choices. We don't know what to choose. We don't know what to pick. I don't know if this is the idea of nightmares. We see the figure in relief. So sometimes this can be even building castles in the sky. Oh, I have 2 7s as well. So 2 7s speak to the idea of false friends. Okay. The other meaning of the 2 7s is an indication that self-confidence issues cause instability in the relationship. And then I have the 2 9s. The 2 9s can sometimes be an indication of a house move, change of address, or relocation. But 2 9s could also be an indication that one of you needs to spend more time alone. Okay? The 7 of Cups is this idea of being so emotionally confused, so overwhelmed with the choices that you may have that you can't pick the right one. So again, it's this idea, another idea of not being able to think straight, not being able to make a firm choice or decision. Here within the thing, we have self-actualization, temptation, property, riches, peace, and power. But what is the 7th thing? So the 7 of Cups counsels that if you can pick the most important thing, all right, if you can discover what the most important thing is that you need to focus on, you need to be thinking about, you need to be doing, okay, then all of the other choices will fall into place. You may discover that some of these things are not important at all anyway. The card also is an indication sometimes of illusions, hallucinations. Again, the idea of perhaps even substance abuse. But the card also says that you positively can have, quote unquote, everything you want. You're just going to have to make the right choice and decision. It also says to expect the unexpected. Now, over the entire reading, I have the Ace of Cups. And the Ace of Cups is just that. It is a fresh start. That means that the energy is becoming available to you for this. So this could be the idea of ushering in new emotions, positive emotions. It could be the idea of purging yourself of negative emotions and things that have been weighing you down, if you will look at it. So I've seen it show up when there are new partnerships on the horizon. New ways of thinking and believing. And when I say partnerships, I mean any type of partnership: business, friendship, familial, romantic. Okay. Now, I get the sense, as I said, when I was just looking at these two rows, past, present, future, interplay of the cards, just looking at these two rows, what it feels like to me is that some of you have either met someone, or there's some kind of project or idea or something that seemed really, really great. But then there was something either that happened or that you discovered that literally had some of y'all running. Okay? Now, if it is not that, then it is the idea that everything was going great, but the temptation for someone else is much greater than whatever's been going on. They leave, but they leave under, I don't want to necessarily say a cloud of suspicion, but it feels as though they lied about why they're leaving. Okay, that additional sword. So let me pull out these Sibilas. I just feel that there are no, what do you call it, court cards here. And first, let me take a look at, I want to look at this Devil card. And then I'm going to see if there's any additional information next to these cards, okay, about these cards. I know automatically that the Nine of Cups is not going to tell me anything. It just never does. The Devil card, the Limoneo, the Marriage card, or in generic, just generally, the card of contracts. The Letterato. This is the highly intelligent man, the learned man. He is also known as the artiste because he's really specific about what he does and what he knows. So you can see it appears to be he's sitting in his library as though he's waiting to have a conversation with someone. So this could be the idea of him waiting on this news on this contract, or to talk about this particular contract. But he's a specific person. And then the Muerte card, the Death card. It ends just like that. Just like I said. It's like it started, and I think the first thing out of my heart was, well, that ended rather quickly, right? That's what this is telling me. Let me take a look at the 7. The Muerte card is the cosmic scissors. It cuts away a situation because someone has either said something or done something, and they've crossed a Rubicon, and the situation can never go back to the way it was before. This is great if it's been an abusive relationship, or one that's full of control, or if you're trying to stop substance abuse or something of that nature. That's great because it allows you the opportunity to move on, right? But I think it is the abrupt nature of the card which may shock. Let's take a look at the 7 of Swords. Dinari. So indeed, there are finances involved in this. Now, the Dinari card falls in the suit of hearts and not the suit of diamonds here, because we know that most times when people get divorced or there's a strain in the relationship, it's usually or typically related to finances, right? But also because money equates money and love are two different sides of the same coin. They equate to value. So when you are valued and respected and cherished, right, everything goes great. But when you are not, when you're taken advantage of, when people steal from you, and I don't mean just steal from you in the sense of taking physical things, but your self-respect, your belief, your faith, right, then that's not such a good relationship. The allegrezza al cuore. Quite interesting. This is the happiness of the heart. The Sibilas are quite specific. They have different cards to show happiness in different areas of your life. So this card represents, let's say, the getting together of people. This is the bride, her brother, and the groom, and they're celebrating the fact that they've gotten married. So again, there's a contractual kind of an issue here. So we're talking about maybe theft, deception, and lies related to money, the relationship, and then the sacerdote. This reads like a wedding. It reads like these three cards kind of just say, if I weren't doing this reading, this is really the idea of a very, very wealthy relationship, a lot of money involved, property, stocks, bonds, jewelry, all that stuff, right? Because here's the priest. And so these are three good cards, but they're falling on this kind of sketchy Seven of Swords. So the sacerdote is just that, someone you can count on. So you're looking at counselors or priests, someone that you can trust. But sometimes he will show up having to do with the law. We've got contracts here, okay? So he can represent a lawyer or he can be a prosecuting attorney. Typically, sometimes he will show up when there's issues to do with taxes. Okay, we know it's tax season. Now, I don't know exactly what else is happening here, so let me see if I can pull up any additional information as this relates to the, I'm just going to take a look at a couple of them. Let me run through them right quick and see what I can see. The Six of Swords with any 10 before or after. It says, do not take any unnecessary risk at this time, as in the near future, wrong card. It is an indication of a travel, journey, vacation, or holiday, or even a change of residence. It may involve a major decision which will ultimately lead to movement of some kind. But it is also a message to look carefully at all aspects of a situation, as there may be some hidden traps or pitfalls. Look out for unnecessary expenditures. There it is with the 10. Okay. Nothing about the 7 with the 9 of Cups. 7 of Swords. It is informing you that your wants and desires will come to fruition, but not necessarily as you would expect. And that's why I said it ended quickly here. And it's almost like you got to go back to the drawing board to renegotiate. That's kind of what it feels like, okay? Let me get over to the Pentacles. 3. Nothing about the 3 of Pentacles. Let me get to the 10 of Pentacles. With the Ace of Cups, and it's an implied thing here, this 10 of Pentacles with the Ace of Cups. Joyful reunions, partnerships, and celebrations. I don't quite know about that, because there's one indication with the Devil that it may be an indication that there could be upsets, disappointments, and problems. And there may be a need to make new plans and start afresh. That's what this is. But there's a lot of confusion here. 9 of Wands. Nothing about the 9 of Wands. And finally, the 7 of Cups. So I would say that you will perhaps be ending the month of March or April where there's a bit of confusion here. Nothing about the 7 of Cups. So I think what I'm going to do is pull a Psychic Oracle Tarot formulate your question for the Psychic Oracle Tarot, and let's see what the card has to say. What it has to say. Oh, well, you saw it there. Look, it's another devil card. The card is called Temptation. Isn't that interesting? I don't know. Whatever this thing is, you do wish to be careful. Through this card, addictions, self-limiting and self-limiting behaviors are addressed. This is a time when you or someone else in your life may be placing too much emphasis on the material physical world and its pleasures. All that money. We see it there. Even though we're all born connected to the divine source, we have a tendency to pull away from what was once natural. When we become disconnected from spirit, the source that once nourished us, it's often replaced with a different supply or substitute. In other words, the connection is then forged with food, alcohol, nicotine, codependency to someone, or even work. Hence the term workaholic. Many of us spend our lives trying to fill the void that was created when the link to the divine was broken. The Temptation card is calling you to take a hard look at your life and ask yourself, where in my life am I suffering from addictive behavior? Is there negative thinking or behavior that is causing the life force to seep out of my soul? Are the people and relationships in my life giving me energy, or are they draining it? Learn to embrace your fears and all of your doubts so that every situation in your life becomes a learning experience. Gaining the knowledge that the physical world teaches will help you transcend to a higher spiritual awareness. And I think this is what this is saying, these last three cards. So that is what I have for you, Aries, for April 2023. I hope this helps. And until next time, be well.